When Ellie was walking with her friends on the playground, she noticed that a homeless man was looking at her strangely. She became uncomfortable and went home. However, the same thing happened the next day, but this time he already approached her and asked, "Your mother's name, by chance, is not Hannah?" "Yes," Ellie nodded. The homeless man smiled and then said, "You are my daughter." "What? No, my dad is a rich man. He left us several years ago." However, the homeless man tried to convince Ellie that he was her father. The girl was frightened, ran home and told her mother everything. Hannah was seriously alarmed. She took her daughter by the hand and together they returned to the playground, but the homeless man was no longer there. "Mom, he'll be here tomorrow," Ellie urged her. "Okay, we'll come here together tomorrow," Hannah replied. And then the next day, Ellie saw him again. She pointed her finger at the man and Hannah could barely stand on her feet from falling. It really was her ex-husband. She walked up to him with Ellie. George was taken aback when he saw them. He smoothed his dirty hair for some reason. "George, what happened to you?" Hannah asked. "When we divorced, you had a lot of money." They parted badly. George, along with lawyers, did everything so that Hannah would have nothing left after the divorce. He was a very greedy person, so he did not want to share anything with his wife, who at that time was already pregnant, only they did not know about it yet. It was because of his stinginess that George ran into scammers who left him with nothing. There were many lawsuits, but in the end, he won nothing. So he lost any motivation as well as a desire to start his life over again. He had no money, no family, and now no dignity. George dropped his hands and decided to just go with the flow. He didn't like life on the street, but he didn't want to change anything either. That's how one moment George turned from a rich man into a beggar. "Fate has punished me, Hannah, for what I did to you. Now I understand that it was very ugly and mean, and now I'm paying for it. I'm sorry for everything." Anna did not gloat, but felt sorry for her ex-husband no matter what. She sat down next to him, they talked, and Hannah told about Ellie, who played next to them on the playground. "Our daughter is a real beauty, and I missed it all." He couldn't hold back his tears. "George, you can endlessly blame everything on fate, but your life is only in your hands. You are its creator, and you can fix it." George looked at his daughter and decided that he would fight for her. He did not want Ellie to see him as a dirty homeless man who, apart from disgust and pity, causes nothing. And now, after some time, he got a job, was able to rent an apartment for himself, and also establish communication with his daughter and Hannah. Ellie became his motivation, and George was grateful to fate for meeting his daughter. Our life is only in our hands. Only a strong person can take responsibility for it, and a weak one will look for the guilty. Always remain a strong person, and then life will turn out the way you want.